Hi Soul Space, Sheila Hill here, and it is Monday night at 9, our first Monday night for 2019. And Happy New Year to everyone, for those of you that I haven't seen yet. So I wanted to come on tonight to talk about a topic that came up yesterday at the Vision Board workshop. And I'll probably end it with a little bit of a personal update, so we'll see. I'm just going to give everybody a couple of minutes to come on, and then we will get started. So yesterday was the Vision Board workshop, and at the workshop I had 19 guests. It was a beautiful, beautiful venue. It was a great time. I'm always in my element when I hold these types of events. I sort of gear myself up and then step out of the way and just see what comes through me, and I always come out of it so pumped, and the guests are always so inspired and thrilled with all of the information that comes pouring out of me. So I'm going to get right to it, because I know many of you will probably end up watching this on the replay anyway. So the word minutia, which I've fallen in love with, became sort of the tagline word for the entire workshop. I did a presentation that talked about manifesting and energy and how we are energy and things we want to bring into our world as far as manifesting. Relationships, experiences, material items are also energy. So I did a presentation on energy, and then one thing led to another, and we ended up talking. This question led to another question, which led to someone else's aha. It was really beautiful and really high vibrational the way the whole thing unfolded. Hi, Nancy. So, but there was some common themes. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about, hi, Deb, not getting caught up in the minutia. And I'll tell you, I recognized it. Why? Because I've done it myself. And it's a bit of a pothole that you can fall into sometimes. So let's talk a little bit about what that even means. So many times, and I will include myself in this, when we are trying to be our most spiritually evolved self, when we are purposefully walking forward in our life, trying to grow, trying to invest in personal growth, in spirituality, and then in manifesting, when we're trying to create a new reality for ourselves and call in some of the energetic templates of material things and experiences and stuff like that, we can get really lost in all of the, what I call cartwheels and handstands, in all of the trying to get it right. And this guru says to do this, so I try and do that. And then I try and do this, and then I try and do that. So let's just take the being a spiritually awakened and evolved person and staying on the spiritual path. And I'm going to make a little bit of a satire out of it, but this is what it could look like. You know, so-and-so said crystals were good, so I wear crystals, a couple in my bra, some in my pocket. And I cleanse and sage my house every day, so much to the point where you can't see through the windows. And I meditate every night before I go to bed, and then again in the morning. And my shower has, you know, such and such essential oil in it. And I'm trying to go vegan, and I, you know, go for salt cave massages once a month, and I do sound healing, and I go for Reiki 3 times a week, and it can get to be a bit much. The same thing goes with learning how to properly manifest. It's, do I put my order in with the universe and then ask for it every single day so that they know I'm really, really focused on it? Or do I put it out there and then forget about it? But then what if the universe thinks that I forgot, and then maybe I need to remind them that they didn't forget? Like, the whole thing can be absolutely crazy making. In relationships, I had one of our members post today asking about sort of the difference between having healthy boundaries with others and their perception of that boundary being judged that this person's not being nice, and what is a barrier. So when you are creating healthy boundaries with others, or when you're actually creating a barrier between you and sort of the collective in a form of energetic self-protection. So those of us, and I know everybody here in the group is with me on this, that are so invested in wanting to evolve, whatever that looks like, wanting a better life, wanting to attract love, wanting to reach some kind of a spiritual benchmark, whatever it is. You want to channel, you want to be a medium, you want to love yourself more, you want to love your family more, whatever it happens to be, it can get really, really easy to get all caught up in the minutia of it all. And this kept coming out again and again with the questions yesterday at the workshop. If I want to manifest this, but I'm thinking that, but I'm thinking this might be for them and it might be better for them than it is for me, and how do I do that? And I'm like, oh my God, that's minutia. Almost like it's a person. So here's what my advice is in sort of all of those categories that is going to cut it right down to the most simple, but again, not necessarily the easiest way to go about all of this stuff. Your energetic vibrational frequency as a human being that is created by your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions is the one and only thing that matters. Whether you carry crystals or meditate or sage your house or don't, or whether you still eat meat or don't, or you drink alcohol or only green tea, whether you do decaf or calf, none of that really matters as long as you are owning and consistently raising your vibrational frequency as a human being. Now, this is where things get a little heady. Your intention is everything. So if your intention is, I am going to stop drinking 3 coffees a day and start drinking green tea because I like how that makes my body feel, i.e. it makes me feel cleaner, less chemically dependent, I don't get the afternoon hangover, like whatever that might be a good decision for you. But I'm never going to sit here and say that in order to be spiritually evolved, you can't drink coffee or wine or whatever it is that you like to do, because that's not what it is. We talked a little bit about clearing space yesterday. And I want to come back to this because it's a message that I want to continually drive home. There is no such thing. Any such thing? Maybe that wasn't grammatically correct. As dark entities, evil spirits, things that are trying to get you, attack you, ruin your house, attach themselves to your family members. None of that is true. None of it. It is programming from the 3D matrix, and it is created from your own fears. If you haven't watched it and it appeals to you, watch the movie Bird Box. I'll just say that. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's consciousness can see through it. But if you're curious about what I just said about your own fear creating a reality in the 3D matrix that feels realer than real, that's exactly what that movie's about. Anyway, I digress. So if you are saging your space because you think that by saging it, you are making it more holy, more clean, more high vibrational, and somehow you're removing some kind of dark entity from your space, what you're actually doing is calling in what you don't want, because you are doing the spiritually evolved activity of saging the space with the intention in your heart that, oh my God, I hope this gets whatever the dark stuff is in my house out, which is fear. And like attracts like, which means if you're in fear, you're attracting fear, which totally bypasses the whole activity that seems very spiritual of saging your space. I know, some of you just went, oh. Okay, so I'm not saying don't sage your space, but what is your intention behind it? So one of the participants was saying, but I sage my teenage son's room when he's at his dad's and blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, sure. If it's in the essence of, and I have a teenage boy, I totally know what you're talking about, of throw open the curtains, open the window, change the sheets, empty the garbage, sage the space, just really like raise the vibration of the living space, then by all means, sage it, Palo Santo, singing bowl, play music. There's a million different ways to clean up a space. Cleaning your house actually clears the space. Getting into corners, the rooms that don't get used very often, maybe open a window or just go in there and kind of move the air around, does exactly the same thing. If your intention that you hold within your belief system is that your space is clean, it's clear, and it is supportive of you and your family, your business, whatever it is, then that becomes the truth. I personally don't do any of those activities. My son and I live here. I run my business from here. I have meditation nights on a Wednesday where there's like multiple numbers of people here. I don't do any of those practices because I hold fully and completely the intention in my heart that I am the vibration of the house. So that's just a little one about clearing, and I do a video on it every once in a while because I know that there is a lot out there that says otherwise, and I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, from all that I am, that none of that is true. So I guess what I want to drive home right now in this video is about all the minutia, all of the, what do you mean you're not interested in crystals? You can't really be that spiritual. Again, I don't really do crystals. I have some gorgeous large pieces in my home because artistically and aesthetically as well as vibrationally, I love them. But I don't always wear my bracelets. I don't carry them in my pockets, in my purse, whatever. And that's not that I'm against crystals or people that do. Just for me, I don't know. I can take it or leave it. Some people attach a belief system that if they carry their crystals, it helps them stay in their vibration. And that's fine. And that works for them because that's what the belief system is that they hold. So all of these various things, and I mean, I probably only touched on the two main ones, that are sort of the spiritual cartwheels and handstands, only hold truth to the extent of your own personal belief system. And then the other piece of it is, are you doing it with the intention in your heart that it is a frequency raising activity, item, whatever it is that you're doing, or are you doing it out of protection? Because protection is fear, and like attracts like. So that kind of speaks to the being a spiritual person. Being a spiritual person just means that's who you are. That's how you show up in the world, that you are a conscious human being living here on the planet, doing the best that you can to be a better version of you every day. That's really it. So if you are consciously aware of who you are, where your vibration is, and that you are attempting every day to raise your frequency, you are doing a stellar job outside of all of the minutia. When it comes to manifesting, the same thing applies. Where's your vibrational frequency? And that most of your vibrational frequency is based on your emotional state. So when you are in that happy, joyful, expanded, happy to be alive, that sort of in that vibration, then you are manifesting very quickly. When you are in a lower vibration, say you're going through a health situation, you're having a bad day, you're depressed, you're angry, you're purging something. Lord knows we've been doing a lot of purging, all of us. you are still manifesting on those days too, because we're manifesting every minute of every day, because we are energetically frequenced human beings. But your manifestation power gets a lot slower and a lot more compressed when you are in those lower vibrational frequencies. So, the trick with manifesting, again, ignore all the minutia. Do I write letters to the universe? Do I burn them? Do I not burn them? Do I put them in my drawer? Do I keep them? Do I look at them every day? Do I not look at them every day? That's all minutia, semantics. Everybody's got their spin, but you pare it all down and it all comes down to your own personal vibrational frequency, which is made up of your emotions and your belief system. So, when you are able to achieve a vibrational frequency of, let's not go high, let's go neutrality, where you are maintaining most days, all day on most days, just that space of, life's good, it's not bad, it's just kind of vanilla, it's okay. When you are in that space, you are manifesting at a faster rate than you would be on the days where you're feeling itchy, bitchy, crunchy, pissy, whatever mood you're in that's less than neutral. So the whole trick to both being spiritually evolved, to ascending into the higher dimensions, to manifesting, all comes down to your personal frequency. The longer, more often, and more sustainable that you can maintain your frequency, the faster, better, higher, more you will be able to achieve, ascend, and manifest into your experience. That's the bottom line. We get all too caught up in listening to this guru and this one, and that one says, but then my girlfriend believes this, and then so-and-so said I should do that. It is all minutia. All that matters is your vibrational frequency. And you know what? We create the next moment from now. So where your frequency is right now is really, again, all that matters. I'm going to keep making this simpler and simpler and simpler for you. So we've pulled off all the minutia. Do it if you want to do it. Do it because you love it. I love essential oils. I have lavender going all in my house all the time. That's my thing. It's because I love it, not because I think it's doing anything particularly amazing for me. I just like it. So if you like crystals and sage and this and that, do it. But do it because you love it. Your main and primary focus needs to be your vibrational frequency. So, right now, I'm getting blasted with energy at the moment. I called in all kinds of spirits. Sorry, it's throwing me off there. Okay, so right now, tune in. And sometimes tuning in isn't a head thing. Tune in, maybe put your hand on your heart and just ask, how do I feel right now? Am I safe? Yeah. Am I content in this very moment? Do I have anything to be worried about right now in this moment? Don't go into the next moment, but right now in this moment, right here, right now, in the now. You're good. At worst, you're neutral right now. So how do you carry that right now neutral into the next moment, which is coming up in about 20 seconds, and then we'll have done it. And so on and so forth. You are always creating your next moment's experience from the now. And that's your choice. That's your choice. Yes, there are things that you can do that will help raise your vibrational frequency that are like sort of out there and a little more purposeful, a little bigger. But really, for most of us, if we were just aware of where we are in the now, and we held that now till the next now and the next now and so on and so forth, owning our vibrational frequency and knowing that owning it, protecting it, balancing it, anchoring it in like our life depended on it, is all that really matters, that is all that really matters. When you are happy in the frequency of joy, which is right up there at like 400 hertz or something, how do you hold that? It's just practice. How do you hold that in the next now and the next now and the now after that? And then when you slip out of that space, only allow yourself to slip down as far as neutral. Because that's the next now. When you allow yourself to slip all the way down to, like shame and guilt and judgment and depression, they're all around 20, 30, 40 hertz. Joy's about 400, love is 500. I'm talking you're having a bad day, and I've had plenty of them. When you're having a bad day, you're all the way down at 20 or 30 hertz. You're not manifesting much of anything in that space. Not anything you'd really want if you stay in that space for too long. So how about we work on being neutral? How about we work on, I only have to be in the now right now, and right now I'm fine. Right now I'm safe. I have nothing to worry about. Right now I can be neutral. And then make that your next now. And at the end of the day, being the most spiritually evolved person, being the most all-knowing personal growth guru, being the best manifester in the whole world, the only thing that matters is your vibrational frequency. So own it, anchor it, and don't let anyone outside of you or anything outside of you mess with it. You always have a choice. You have a choice. When you're in neutral or joy, and something happens or someone happens into your sphere of experience, you have a choice. You have a choice to say, I'm in neutral and I'm not going any lower than that. I am not going to let this affect my vibrational frequency. My sanity and my worth and my peace of mind is not for sale. It's just not. And if you've got a thing going on and I've got some extra to spend, then I will help you. And if I don't, you've got to figure it out. There's nothing wrong with that. If each and every single one of us on the planet owned our vibrational frequency in the minimum neutral and up, like our lives depended on it, because it does, that in of itself would change the world. Okay, rant over. I think I've said enough. I just wanted to bring some clarity to all of the confusion that goes with being on this spiritual path, and so much of talk about manifesting, especially because of the beginning of a new year and people are really looking at sort of mentally planning what they want to draw into their life experience this year, that there isn't a whole lot of cartwheels and handstands involved. You can do them if you like them, but you don't have to. Really think about owning your frequency. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Post them in the comments now. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and post it in the comments. I'm always watching. I am looking for new topics, always. Sometimes I don't do lives because I can't come up with a topic on my own that sounds really interesting, and then I just don't do the live. So that's kind of sad for the group. I get lost in my own experiences and in my own head and in my own energy sometimes, and I lose track of the fact of that I know some stuff that maybe you guys would want to know about, and I just forget that I need to be sharing it. So poke at me, and I'm always happy to hop on and do a live and share whatever information I have. Wednesday nights are starting up again, starting this week. Meditation here at my house. We talk about all of these spiritual, ascension, metaphysical, intergalactic topics that are so cool and exciting, and we do a group guided meditation. I have sort of been out of commission for the beginning of the month so far, So I haven't got any of my workshops up and running yet. So there will be some stuff coming out probably in February. I don't see that there's any other questions. So what I will say to you then is that I love you. Don't get caught up in the minutia. You know where to find me if you need love, guidance, or support of any kind. Have a beautiful evening, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.